is time, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages. It's time for the finals here of the $1,500 3v3 Search and Destroy Prime Tournament. Of course, taking place here on January 19th. The night becoming the morning on the eastern coast of the United States, of course, even in Europe as well. If you're in Australia, then it's probably February by now. But still, we're hopping in here toward our match. Final one of the night. Of course, this is a best of 5 here on USS Texas to start things off. As, of course, both these teams have got here, faced off against a number of different stiff competition. We've got to watch both of these teams face off in prior matches. SDF just got off a big Game 5 victory versus EU Cadets. Actually won their series on USS Texas, actually, for their map number 2 game in 6th round to 2 fashion. And now looking on here, James and TMTwerk find themselves in a 2v... Well, it was a 2v2 engagement. Now it's aBeZy all by his lonesome here for the side of SDF. And when it comes down to USS Texas, right, very sniper heavy. Both these teams have a sniper on their team. A lot of times it's going to be TMTwerk for the opposite end. And also, of course, you can see now here aBeZy for the side. I think I said TMTwerk for SDF. I'm going to say TMTwerk for Reckless and aBeZy here for SDF. So both these guys can definitely do some work with the weapon. We've seen a lot of first bloods, a lot of battles going on throughout the rest of these rounds. This one just not looking likely anymore here for aBeZy. We saw him having a lot of strong performances when it came down to his prior series versus EU Cadets with this particular weapon. And not just in Search and Destroy, this guy also plays very well when it comes down to the respawn game. I know he actually played at Cedar NOLA along with a big organization known as Wildcard. Him and their reader actually ended up playing alongside evasion and Scoliosis. I know Scoliosis is also a very well-known S&D player as well. So, with that first round of play done and dusted, TMTwerk here in the back lines here inside of top control, throwing a few extra bullets, staring at the boots, as they are technically back on the ground. As a first round victory, of course, goes the way of the guys on Reckless, as they're feeling pretty good. TMTwerk, of course, finding the most kills in that round 1. Finds 2. But looking on here, it looks like for the offensive side, a push bomb being made toward the A bomb site. As it looks like James does find the early nade inside of middle. This is what this guy could do. Very talented player, of course. Previously, I believe, known under the gamer tag of Stoner, but HollyDizz goes for the quick challenge onto Equuip, the fast reaction time, and at the most interesting time possible. And along with that first kill here, it's James at the end who finds the first blood, and like I said, the one that matters the most, the final kill of this round. Is back-to-back ones here for the guys on Reckless. And I'm curious to see, when it comes into this next round, if we can actually look at both TMTwerk and aBeZy's perspective. Yeah, so we see TMTwerk with Sniper, and it looks like aBeZy as well with a Sniper, potentially. No, actually rocking the STG-44. But notice on TMTwerk's class that he also has the Duelist Combat Turning, along with the PO8s. This is a very common strategy that I've been seeing in Search and Destroy as of late. As the first pick gets found, the double PO8s can definitely do a lot of work. When it comes into close quarter range, of course, this was a strategy used by Clayster, actually at Cedar NOLA. Wish Clayster to be united, but come around the corner, HollyDizz grabs me with the headshot. Reader is there for the ending challenge as we see yet again another contest heavy fight. 1v1, Reader versus TMTwerk. And TMTwerk, like I said, go to his perspective real quick. Actually swaps out the dual PO8s for a PPSH. And notice that on that attachment, he also has long barrel attached. That's the thing with those guns. Of course, I mean, you'd imagine double pistols got to be good at close range. He also puts the long barrel on just to make them that great of a weapon at a longer distance. Kind of can be acted as a primary. It's like you have, it's like a primary as what would be your secondary. But looking on here, TMTwerk does go back to grab the bomb. 18 seconds left, and thankfully for Reader, he's got a pretty nice vantage point to rotate toward either bomb site in a moment's notice. Checks toward A at the worst time possible. You see him go for the nade. He chooses the wrong bomb site, trying to find a hit marker, doesn't realize it. Spots TMTwerk on the bomb, and how does he work with it? Does take him out successfully. Very well played out there from Reader to obviously get in that position. Throws the nade onto the B bomb site to try to get the hit markers. And obviously in his transition toward the opposite site, he's in full knowledge that a plant has to be going down, and if you're TMTwerk in that scenario, you really have nothing else to really go off of. You have no knowledge. You think the bomb maybe could be good to plant. You have no idea where Reader could be lying or hiding. So off that, the first round chalked up here for the guys on SDF. So we'll see what the objective is actually making its way toward, as it looks like shots being exchanged there. It looks like it will be TMTwerk and HollyDizz combining for a few shots. It's TMTwerk, or excuse me, HollyDizz, though, who does walk away with the first blood, watching over his teammate James. There's great cover fire coming through, but aBeZy is on the flank. Can he spot out James is the question. Yes, fast reaction time in, and yet again, HollyDizz watching over his teammates and taking them out in quick succession. Equuip versus TMTwerk. Equuip will win it in another scenario here. We find ourselves in a 1v1. It looks like it will be a pick found in the end. So nice shot there coming in from Equuip, despite what was a potential for an ace for HollyDizz, or excuse me, like a hat trick rather, 3 kills in total. It's really about picks at this point. Of course, out of the 4 rounds, 3 of them have gone the way of Reckless. He's now the offensive team, of course, of Reckless now looking to try and set up for a first blood. Of course, that's really big when it comes into USS Texas, and especially in 3 versus 3 tournaments. For those who have not familiar with tournaments like this, first picks are obviously very big because, of course, getting closer to that 1-man count, that 0-man count total advantage is very important. So first bloods obviously play a big factor, and aBeZy able to add his first in the game. But a quick trade potentially coming through for HollyDizz, not able to make it happen. So him and TMTwerk left to try to pick up the pieces, as aBeZy unfortunately does drop Dizz, and now TMTwerk, awkward position, ends up falling. And then a 3rd round found here from aBeZy and co. from the side of SDF. And as this game kind of progresses on, of course, trying to gain some information on the other. As the first few rounds start to tick away, it's more of just kind of gaining in some information, kind of getting how the other team plays, what the strategies really are for either team, how they want to work offense, how they want to work defense. Are they using a sniper? Are they using 2 snipers? A lot of questions kind of going through and kind of in the back of these players' mind, kind of a checklist kind of going off. What kind of strategies they like to rock? What do they prefer not to do? As it looks like up close and personal, HollyDizz and bottom ship to work from afar, just like that. 2 kills found in a matter of seconds, and now it's aBeZy. His position is already known. In the back of the bomb site, in the back of the spawn, rather, trying to fire away, and does get some hit markers on the HollyDizz, but really, at this point, this is a round that's going to go the way of Reckless just about every time. You see one player trying to go for the flank. James is going to be here for the pickup pretty easily, but nearly goes for the challenge. I thought that turn on was very likely. To watch this from James' perspective, you see the aBeZy just kind of goes for the jump shot. But James does stay alive here. Now hopping in toward round number 7, we see HollyDizz and co. on the offense as they're going to make their way potentially toward this B bomb site. We've been seeing a lot of pressure toward A. Of course, TMTwerk swapping out the Kar 98K for an FG. And most likely with the at least 1 PO8 in his back pocket, but an aggressive rush being made from player number 5. Who is this? Actually, it's aBeZy. aBeZy making for the early aggressive rush, but it's actually James who picks him down. It's 3v2 advantage right now. Just as that happens, Equuip is there for a pickup. Right around the corner, HollyDizz, can he find this kill just around the corner? Somehow grabs the leg shot. Another player in his mitts, and just like that, making it look easy. Fantastic 2 kills coming in here for your bronze star from the man HollyDizz. As he's been finding some big kills so far in this match, especially in this map number 1 here on USS Texas. Finding them in quick succession. It's now loading in here for round number 8. We talk about offense, how important it is, and a lot of time when I kind of discuss USS Texas, it's really about how can the offensive team really kind of work on getting that objective down. What's the kind of strategy when it comes down to most things? But it looks like aBeZy and co being aware of that rush being made inside of top control. Reckless try to surprise them. They try to catch them off guard, but the strategy does not work out successfully. And now HollyDizz finding himself in a 1 versus 2 on a 4 spree and also has some streaks to work with. That nade could be good. Can't find Equuip, but does get the nice line set onto aBeZy. Very close to streaks, like I said, is HollyDizz. I think this is the 4th 1v1 engagement that we've been able to lay witness to so far in this match. And obviously it is a current advantage right now for Reckless. They want to get that 5th round, but can they do it is the question. Equuip right around the corner is there for the cleanup, as it is now 4 rounds to 4. Fully expecting this one to be a close match all the way through. Feel free to be keeping your guys' predictions going either in the chat or on Twitter as well. At least now heading in toward round number 9, we'll be witnessing potentially what could have been the streaks from HollyDizz. Like I said, didn't earn those. An unfortunate mishap there where he doesn't win the 1v1. Would have been huge because if you really think about things, it would be a 5-3 advantage right now for Reckless. They'd have streaks in their back pocket, potentially. And they'd have a lot of time to work with when it comes down to the overall scheme of this game. But it looks like HollyDizz and TMTwerk now, after losing their teammate James, now find themselves in a 2v2 and just a matter of strategy. Where do you kind of work the bomb toward? Do you play toward B or toward A? Don't have a whole lot of utility, so you'd imagine B is probably the preferred one, but we talk about aBeZy already being taken out, Sniper not going to be a factor as much, so a lot of questions kind of going throughout these guys' mind. But Equuip coming on the flank, and HollyDizz is there for the trade yet again, now equaling his total to 11 kills. Another 1v1 scenario, and HollyDizz is getting that bomb down, plants it over at B, and now iReedr's the one who needs to make the engagement happen. And it looks like from a long range, he's receiving some shots, goes for the Dolphin Dive, and is able to stay alive for now, but has to be wary of a potential defuse that could be happening at any moment. Spots him from a long range and realizes that, hey, for at least the next 8 seconds, I'm good to go. I don't have to kind of watch over that site necessarily. And iReedr playing for a sneak, trying to bait out HollyDizz, but makes it around the corner. And where does iReedr? Does he know where he is? Can he get around this point of view? And it looks like HollyDizz will stay alive just in the nick of time. Will secure this round and tries to find a better line sight to drop iReedr. Keeping in mind how important streaks are, he's going to get the, of course, additive of getting that bomb to explode. Can't find the kill, but will probably be pretty happy with that. As the 5th round found for Reckless, and like I said, HollyDizz is going off, man. 11-5, wins that 1v1 engagement. I've been talking about in prior rounds how well he's been kind of watching over his teammates. And he clutches out that round, finding 2 kills, like I said, along with the plants. TMTwerk, you see how fast he kind of rotates back after receiving and feeling potential fire from that nade. That could have been attached along with it. But aBeZy coming around the corner, tries to take out James after the pick. Does work out well. And now TMTwerk potentially give his team the victory in this map 1. Or will we see a round 11 take place? Coming over on top B. aBeZy from the long range, getting some shots tagged into the side of him. TMTwerk has a nade, trying to get some leverage with it. Unfortunately, does not gain any info whatsoever. A few shots tagged in the side, however. Map 1 will be seeing some overtime. Who can win the final round and get themselves a big advantage when it comes down to things? Of course, the best of 5, for those who've watched in the earlier part of the tournament, we were playing best of 3s, except for semis, of course, now here in finals. And now loading in here toward our final round of play, it will be the guys from SDF on the offense. Early nade coming out. James is good for it. HollyDizz finding the second, and just like that, Equuip left all by himself. Only about, what, 15, 20 seconds done in this round, and Equuip already finding himself in a position to need to clutch, but it's TMTwerk who's there for the final kill. All 3 players from Reckless getting involved in that kill feed, but it's the one that matters at the most. TMTwerk gets his revenge. And the car shot to close this map one out as Reckless are officially up 1-0 in our finals here for tonight's Prime $1,500 3v3 search and destroy. But generally when it kind of came down to this map, it was a matter of a number of different things. But I think generally when we're looking at this from a perspective, of course, now the scoreboard, 12-6 here for HollyDizz. Very, very solid performance, obviously coming up from him. Played very well throughout a lot of this game. And like I said, a number of different 1v1 scenarios. It was just a matter of who was kind of slaying better at different times. The overall kind of offensiveness or offensive strategies that we were kind of seeing from different teams were obviously good. And we see around 11 for a reason, right? We obviously see some good moments coming in from Equuip and iReedr. They are playing pretty well, and we obviously didn't get to witness like too much of a sniper duel throughout a lot of this game. Of course, we kind of were discussing aBeZy and TMTwerk kind of coming into this map. But despite that, though, it obviously was a pretty interesting one. And like I said, HollyDizz puts up, 11 or 12 kills in total, and it just kind of takes over the map for himself. So very, very major props to that guy. As throughout a lot of their games, and I believe in the prior series for them, it was really TMTwerk and James who were kind of playing more of the kind of lead fragger role, and HollyDizz was just kind of playing pretty consistently. But this is kind of the first time we see him kind of have a strong performance. But of course, now loading in here toward map number 2, Saint Marie du Mont, as it will be, like I said, SDF going up against Reckless. Reckless with the 1-0 advantage, and if you guys did get to witness for the defensive team, recent patch actually got put into play where the defensive team spawns a little bit closer toward that B-bomb site. When it comes down to this map, generally, and before the patch, it was just straight up about the B-bomb. If you didn't go toward B, a lot of times you were struggling, and obviously 9 out of 10 times, B-bomb site was the preferred side of the offensive team. And the reason being is it was just so much easier to rotate toward. But the patch, of course, moves the spawns closer, gives the defensive team on B a little bit more of a vantage point. They can get there a little bit quicker than the offensive team. But after casting about 2 or 3 tournaments post-patch, we're still seeing some similar strategies. So I'm curious to see if, once the kind of patch comes into full force, once the, kind of Pro League starts up, Season 1 begins, we'll be able to obviously witness how the pros kind of deal with the map and how much of a difference it kind of really makes in retrospect from the highest competitive level. But TMTwerk and HollyDizz now getting back into this round 1. Find themselves in a 2v2. Bomb going to get planted here from TMTwerk. And the question being, if they have any top red control. It's actually Equuip, yes, who does have that top red control. But HollyDizz is there to greet him with an FG shot. Gets a few bolts tagged in his side, but can't find the kills. So with that, the Sun, nothing found with it. aBeZy from one side. And Equuip coming through mid, a little bit of a bait and switch type of situation. How does TMTwerk and Dizz kind of deal with it? Receiving the fire. As they're now going to kind of take over the site. Do they go for the defuse is the thing, and I believe aBeZy is kind of challenging this, trying to bait out the defensive team, and TMTwerk is kind of trying to deal with all this pressure by himself. Waiting for his teammate HollyDizz to actually rotate through middle to try to get something done, and HollyDizz takes that one just like that. TMTwerk is there for the other, and in a very well executed round here for our first one. As the boys from Reckless hold out strong, they get the bomb down. TMTwerk holding one angle, waits for his teammate HollyDizz to rotate through mid, and is there for the pickup. So now loading in here toward round number 2. It will be the guys from SDF on the offense. Question being, of course, for either team, who makes it toward what side, what's kind of the overall strategy. We got to witness Reckless making their way toward A in the last round. Worked out very well for them. Of course, was a kind of a last-second scenario, so it wasn't easy by any means, but looking on, it looks like it will be the guys from SDF who do have the first blood advantage. Quickly, that changes. James evens things out now to a 2v2. Equuip feeling the pressure. Changes the location of the bomb based on where his teammate aBeZy is at, based on where the enemy is probably coming from, but it's actually the opposite. Places the bomb down for a side that they're not expecting them to be coming from. You can see aBeZy, obviously, probably spots the player models. Team shots coming in on James. However, it's HollyDizz who takes that one. HollyDizz is yet to die. He's flawless at the moment, and can he continue on that spree? Knows exactly where Equuip is at and makes it look easy. 4-0 start for HollyDizz. The big 1v1 and the second round gained. A defuse to his name as well. A lot of titles for HollyDizz. But what he wants the most needs to be called $1,500 Prime 3v3 S&D champions. Of course, here for January 19th. It's been an awesome tournament up until this point. A lot of quality action, but no one really has been playing more consistent, especially in a situation like this, Then this man, HollyDizz. 4-0 right now. Not far off streaks. Got to be keeping that in mind. As you can see, they sent him kind of by himself over toward A. And quickly after they realized that not a whole lot of pressure toward B, bomb planter walks, kind of piggybacks off of Twerk as he's able to successfully get the bomb planted down. But you notice, HollyDizz actually does have a nade. 2 players come from top red, and just like that, from afar, HollyDizz doesn't even need to use his gun to get streaks. It's about the nades, but a near turn-on comes through, despite it will keep all 3 players alive for Reckless. As HollyDizz, despite finding streaks earlier, also finds another kill in this round. So 2 found here in round number 3. HollyDizz still flawless right now. I believe, what, now 6-0? And that just goes to show that the kills that he's finding right now. Of course, out of 9 total kills, he's found 6. And he's got full streaks to rock. And now, right now, if you're SDF, you've got to be aware of that. Probably rocking, I would say probably using mountain classes, but you see aBeZy and aReedr both using airborne. What does Equuip actually have? We go to Equuip really quick, see his perspective. Okay, so it has a mountain. So 2 out of the 3 players right now from SDF not using mountain, and it's really to no avail. You're probably not going to see the guys from Reckless use those streaks. Not really going to see Twerk probably use those streaks unless they're on offense. Quite a bit of the time, you prefer to utilize those. But also something that's kind of scary, to be honest with you, as aReedr ends up getting dropped here, as the 4th round is found, along with that already being a scary factor. We've already seen Reckless have a lot of success when it came down to the A-bomb site. And a lot of teams, despite the, of course, recent patch being made to the defensive spawns on this map for B, a lot of teams, once they've earned streaks on St. Marie du Mont in the past, would even actually work toward the A-bomb site. Just because once you get the bomb down there, it's a lot easier to kind of utilize streaks. Of course, like a fighter pilot, a glide bomb can really do a lot of damage. It comes down to that open area, but it looks like they could be feeding off of that strat, realizing what could be in the back of SDF's mind and kind of countering it, but off the break, HollyDizz remains flawless. He's still alive because his teammate James just went clutch for him. Shuts down Equuip. 9-0 right now for HollyDizz. aReedr 0-4, 1v3. Not a whole lot to look forward to. Probably waving the white flag. "35 seconds left. And you just look at all 3 of these players stacked inside of B. And he's going to run away. And who wouldn't at this point? Does he have a nade? Does he have anything really to work with? Yeah, no nade. Trying to find a vantage point. You can see him trying to use that head glitch, hoping that someone will jump out from that line sight. But unfortunately for him, no one going to feed anything. No one wants to pass anything as far as a vantage point toward aReedr. So the bomb will, of course, explode, and unfortunately, that does take out. That's how HollyDizz dies. That's literally how HollyDizz dies. HollyDizz is literally 9-0, and of course, in the scorecard, he'll stay alive because it was a team kill. But still, like, come on. Like, how does that happen? Like, the one death that HollyDizz is supposed to get is based off a bomb exploding. So rather unfortunate. But it really, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because, of course, it does. But I mean, just generally, it is a pretty interesting scenario. But Reckless, of course, now with a 5-0 advantage, HollyDizz has found his 10th kill, yet to die. aBeZy, thankfully, does drop 1. But they bring the bomb toward A. And you've got to realize that, I mean, hey, HollyDizz has streaks. Like, even if we get the bomb planted, if they rock a fighter pilot or a glide bomb, and we were basically dead to rights, there's not a whole lot of cover for defense when it comes down to A. You can kind of hide in back barn, but I mean, like, generally you're pretty much in an open area. So, of course, 2v2 now. Bomb on the complete opposite side of the map from where aBeZy and aReedr currently are. And here come the streaks from HollyDizz. Glide bomb gets brought out. No information really found. Of course, both players rocking mount than you like to imagine. And so player number 6 could be on the potential to find something as the mortar strikes actually get used. And that's all that is really to do, is this try to limit aBeZy's position at trying to get toward a bomb. Trying to maybe even find a bomb carrier, but really just trying to delay time. As aBeZy is going to have enough time to go for the plant. And keeping in mind right now, as he's not going to go for the plant. So, interesting play coming in from aBeZy, as just like that, the hot 6-0 comes forward. As Is what a interesting result that we get to witness here when it comes into St. Marie du Mont. As Reckless, of course, take this one and now propel themselves to a 2-0 advantage, feeling confident you like to imagine when it comes into the finals. But HollyDizz finishing off 10-1, an incredible performance coming out from this guy. And technically it was 10-2. His first death came from, of course, the bomb exploding from his own teammate. Rather unfortunate, but no, of course, kind of ends at 10-1. I mean, he takes over this game. I was talking about how well he was playing in map number 1. Obviously continues that on when it comes to map number 2 here on St. Marie. I mean, literally, the guy goes 10-1. Like, you really can't ask any more out of HollyDizz when it really comes down to this series. Of course, James, TMTwerk, they were playing well. aBeZy goes 4-5. Equuip and aReedr in total go for 1-11. So, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. You'd like to see them kind of have a stronger performance. But aBeZy, like I said, has been playing very well throughout this entire tournament. Really been impressed with this guy's kind of play. I've actually heard about him, I believe, coming into the World War II season. I want to say he was playing with Tupac Thuglord and co. I want to say in one of our tournaments and got to witness him play quite a bit with the SMG. And was a guy who was kind of constantly in your face, kind of PPSH, always trying to find that first blood. And you can kind of see he's kind of slowed things down. He's a sniper rifle player through a lot of these games, and he's kind of fine-tuned his game, of course, now to the role that he plays for, of course, probably in his prior organization of Wildcard. So with that in mind, like I said, guys, I believe we're going to head to a quick commercial break. We should obviously be good to go here for Ardennes Forest very shortly, but obviously one's going to get things in. Back, ladies and gentlemen, for potentially the final time. Yes, it's a hot 2-0 off the break for the guys on Reckless as they're desperately trying to get toward the title of Prime $1,500 3v3 Search and Destroy Champions. It's really been the man HollyDizz leading the way throughout this entire series. Finished off 10-1 in map number 2, of course, on St. Marie du Mont. Along with a scoreline like that, you got to imagine that it was a pretty dominant victory for the guys on Reckless, which it absolutely was. A hot 6-0 in map 2, now to give them an overall 2-0 advantage in this best-of-5 series. SDF, their backs are against the wall. They've been relying on aBeZy quite a bit of the time to go off, but really it needs to be a full team effort if they want to bring this one back and try to bring this series back to a level playing field. But of course, they need to win a huge map here on Ardennes Forest to even get in the potential of talking about it. As James at a 1 versus 3 scenario does take out one onto aBeZy. aBeZy just toward his right side, and you see how fast of a reaction time he does have. Has the STG out, but can't make much more happen than that. So successful early plant coming in from the guys on Reckless, or should be from the guys on SDF, excuse me. As they kind of plant over on B, pretty easy overall site retake. And some nice confidence gain. Of course, that was their first round gain, really, since USS Texas on map 1. So nice to kind of feel a little bit of that confidence. aBeZy, of course, responding for 2 kills out of the 3. And what we've been seeing from the guys here on Reckless is kind of living up to their title. Random offensive pushes. You see James and Diz both inside a middle, but it's actually at the top of your map. It's TMTwerk making his way toward A, and this is going to be such a surprising play because as HollyDizz takes that aReedr, it's now coming to a potential where they realize that, hey, they're actually making their way toward the opposite bomb site. Literally, the guys from Reckless dominate so much through mid that TMTwerk has such an easy time. Like that, what that play was meant to do was to bait out the enemy to thinking that, hey, they're having some mid-map pressure. Like, of course, what the overall goal is for Diz and to have James and Diz to kind of meet up with TMTwerk inside a cabin. But it was never meant to be that easy. And so since they have no one over on that A site, along with having not a whole lot of mid-map pressure, there was never a moment in that round where it was like, okay, well, this is where SDF can kind of turn things around. This is where they're going to turn the tide of this map, or this round, rather. It just never was there. So just kind of an awkward scenario when you're looking at SDF's overall defense in that round number 2. But back on offense, back in, of course, their preferred position when it comes down to things, as James equaling things out now to a 2-on-2 after a big pick onto aBeZy. Man who's been playing pretty consistently, fair to say, throughout this entire final. His aReedr now finding himself in a awkward spot, not just because it's a 1v2, but also because the bomb is down and on B directly. So James and Diz should be pretty much aware of the fact that the bomb is planted, or is kind of planted down. And they're probably going to be playing off of that. And so as the seconds start to tick away, it's the question, does aReedr going to make something happen? Does he try to go for a challenge? Can he find a pick is really the thing, and he's not able to do any of those. Nice kill there coming in from James. Is that when it comes down to you, this is where this guy can really dominate. Those close quarter positions with the PPSH or the STG-44. The dude's a lot of work with it. And despite the fact, of course, the FG meta is now obviously back underway. I can already hear the, SMG mains kind of crying for right now, kind of weeping at the fact that their beloved PPSH isn't as strong as it previously was when it comes to the weapon comp. But I've been seeing quite a few STG-44s. This was something that I was seeing a lot heading into NOLA that a lot of people were surprised about, saying, I wasn't really expecting to see a whole lot of STG. Honestly, in our online tournaments, we were seeing a lot of guys in S&D and even in variant alike really dominate with it quite a bit of the time. And that really wasn't a surprise to me whatsoever to see the STG really get pulled out. But looking on here, of course, after the recent meta change, it seems the STG is still viable. Definitely not the preferred AR of choice. It's definitely the FG42, as we see James currently in the situation of a 1v2 with this exact weapon out, but Equuip just above him. And look at these. Look at this, actually. On the minimap, two guys separated. This is a 1v1 waiting to happen. Two 1v1s waiting to happen, rather, as Equuip in the back lines. Does James spot out his gun? I don't believe he does. In this right corner, James is known for his fast reaction time, but can't find it. But in that scenario for SDF, I'm just not a fan of the positioning that they have, because really, like I said, you're asking, right? If James finds this kill, I'm not sure exactly what his overall position is to do. But based on where Equuip is at, probably James checks through you, maybe goes for a plant quickly, or maybe he makes his way through cabin, and him and the opposite member of aBeZy kind of miss each other. But we're in a 1v2. I mean, you really got to be playing together, I feel like. But they were just on opposite sides of the map. They really couldn't join alongside one another. And at any moment, like I said, that was two 1v1s waiting to happen. And based off how James has been playing up to this point, he was 5-1 heading into that 1v2. He's the worst guy to be facing off against when it comes down to this map in particular. Next guy would obviously be HollyDizz as far as his overall performance. But the nice side shot actually coming in from Equuip with a little bit of a wall bang there into the knees of TMTwerk. As he'll get met for the first blood. HollyDizz is quickly there to change the tide, though. As things are now back to a 2v2 as these two players from either side have been dueling quite a bit of the time. Easy headshot there for aBeZy. At least makes it look easy. As now HollyDizz trying to jump on the vantage point. Unfortunately, a jetpack is not there to assist him. With that, so you just gonna see he's probably obviously trying to get the ledge boost there, trying to get himself back up there onto that B-dom ramp, but isn't able to find it. Is now loading in here toward round number 6. A little bit of an advantage right now for SDF, something they're feeling pretty confident about, you like to imagine. I say they're feeling confident. I mean, they might be, they might not be. They just got to get some confidence under themselves. I think it's fair. Really need to get some confidence, need to get some momentum going, but TMTwerk finding the first blood. Of course, that's his first kill of this match. He needs to get back into this game as HollyDizz drops one onto top B ramp, and now Equuip all by himself, all by him as lonesome. And if Equuip can catch some good timing, I was going to say, if he can catch some good timing onto HollyDizz going for a plant, he spawns out TMTwerk as well. Could have been a 1v2 scenario that goes his way, but this is going to be pretty difficult, especially on this B-bomb site and where the players are positioned at. HollyDizz in the back lines, TMTwerk watching through either the flank or inside of you. And then in a few seconds, yeah, you're going to see TMTwerk probably rotate his perspective back toward you, just being aware of any position that he could be coming from. HollyDizz watching a flank, but for Equuip, it's just not going to happen. And the reason why, of course, you take a look at his bottom right of his screen, 420 out of 65. You need to stay up and might try to go for a challenge. I mean, this is pretty risky in the scheme of things. And he's going to drop from HollyDizz. So that's... I'm just not a fan of that. And like, I can understand the factor of just wanting to get maybe a kill closer to some streaks. So try to, try to get as close as possible. But, I mean, generally there, I mean, he's baiting on the fact that, hey, I know where TMTwerk is. TMTwerk's watching through you and through where I previously was. I mean, where's Dizz at? I mean, Dizz probably isn't watching the same perspectives that TMTwerk was. So why is he covering the flank? Why is he trying to challenge something like that? When he's so close to streaks, and he's such a valuable player when it comes down to this game for SDF, and I just feel like he kind of throws it away. But regardless, it's a lot easier said than done. Having the ability of the Concaster makes it a lot easier for myself to kind of make calls. But just my forethoughts. But looks like player number 5 could be making a nice little flank here. It is going to be TMTwerk on the backside of bunker, catching out aBeZy. Back-to-back first bloods found for him. Is that James is going to be up currently with Twerk. Of course, aBeZy now in a position to clutch. This is the guy that you want if you are a fan of SDF and playing very, very well throughout tonight's tournament. PPSH, the sniper alike. Very talented in these up-close point of views especially. But him and James, quick reaction time. Who finds the other? And it looks like it will be James who does escape for the time being. Coming around the corner, and just like that, it will be James who wins the gunfight, along with grabbing the advantage here in this game. And as 1v1s like that, 1v2s like that, rounds start to tick by, and SDF starts to realize that they're no longer in the driving seat after being down right now 0-2 in the series. It can really start to weigh on you. I mean, the pressure of this series is the overall level of patience to want to bring this one back, and the mentality that we can bring this one back, I'm sure, is definitely kind of weighing on them at the moment. But looking on, round number 8 underway. Nice challenge coming in from James. Going to catch Equuip totally off guard, right in the middle of tossing on a nade, and quickly could also find aBeZy running through his own nade as well. Could be on a solid push here. Nearly takes out aBeZy, but the machine pistol is there to work it out. 2-on-2, and aBeZy coming through. Close combat area. You see the close direction. It's work. Nearly takes out aBeZy, but not going to be there. HollyDizz feeling the pressure from behind, knows he has to rush forward, takes out one onto aBeZy, and aBeZy is not there for the quick cleanup. Not a whole lot of time to work with, and Dizz will be there for the challenge. A big 1v1 to now put the guys on Reckless. Not just on map point, not just on series point, but tournament point at that. They've got to be having a lot of momentum coming into this play and into the following rounds, as HollyDizz yet again having a strong performance, 8-4, along with James, who is 8-5. TMTwerk not having the best game. And I'm sure he's happy to hop inside of HollyDizz's backpack, but the backpack hits the floor as aBeZy is not happy after that last 1v1 loss. Gets a little bit of revenge there on to HollyDizz, but does get traded out. Current advantage right now for the guys on SDF. James now 1v2 inside of A, and the bomb in the back of the spawn. And as if James knows exactly what's taking place, making his way also through back bunker, takes out Equuip, probably doesn't realize that aBeZy's going to be here. I mean, what play, I mean, in what way would a push like that being made make sense if both players are coming through back bunker? It's just kind of an odd situation. They want to be clearing as much out as possible. So James makes the smart play. It's just a matter of the guys from SDF who just didn't grab the bomb. Like, they just didn't pick it up in the back of their spawn. So, I think in every situation, James probably is in a good spot to clutch out that 1v2, but just kind of a interesting situation, interesting scenario that obviously does take place, but still. Round number 10, Reckless, same scenario. 1 round away. Can they get it done? Play number 5, play number 1. On the opposite side of the map right now, dueling at the same time. HollyDizz ends up dropping a big 1v1. Equuip finding that, his third first blood of the game. Most first bloods in this match have come from him and aBeZy, but a big shot comes in from James, as if he knows exactly where Equuip is hiding after about a millisecond of being in a gun engagement. But TMTwerk, men who struggled in this match, can he get it done? Objective in his hands, 2 enemies left. Can he find it? A little bit of ring around the rosy being played right now between Reckless and SDF. TMTwerk is going to get this bomb down here inside of A. This is by no means a position where it's going to be difficult to hold on to it. If he can lock on the objective, he knows where the other player is coming from, but no, aBeZy continues on with the objective, still looks on from the exit that TMTwerk was trying to make himself come out of. So aBeZy with the pick, along with the defuse, and just like that, we are going to be seeing a round 11 here for map number 3. How does this one play out? is it will be the guys from Reckless on the offense. They just saw this exact same spot, this exact same side. How will they play it out now? As aBeZy off the break, making his way toward the B bomb site alongside of his teammate Equuip, but HollyDizz is here for the pick, and just like that, they have a free bomb site at A, a free plants. If James can find a pick, you like to imagine this one is out of the picture. Equuip tries the challenge inside a fire alley, doesn't spot anyone, and now looking alongside of his teammate aBeZy to try to make a challenge happen. James, if he wins this gunfight, it's basically over. Can he find it? And yes, drops aBeZy down, and now Equuip 1v3 needs to retake the site and isn't able to do it. A hot 3-0 is how the finals will get decided here for tonight's Prime $1,500 3v3 Search and Destroy, with the boys from Reckless being crowned champions. And what a way to close it out. Congratulations, of course, to TMTwerk, HollyDizz, and James. But with that in mind, you obviously have to give a massive credit to HollyDizz for really going big in the final for tonight. Drops 10-6 here in map number 3, along with, of course, a strong performance coming in from James, 12-7. But, I mean, really, throughout this entire series, it was HollyDizz going up 10. I mean, I think he had 10 kills in map 1, 10 kills in map 2, and now 10 kills here in map 3. Just overall an unbelievable performance coming in from that man HollyDizz as he kind of leads the way for his team of Reckless to win this match. And honestly, this is a really interesting kind of scoreline that we obviously witnessed, of course, here in the finals. Reckless winning all 3 maps, but it was a much different kind of scenario going back and forth, as it was Reckless, of course, winning map number 1 on USS Texas in a round 11 fashion. And map number 2, dominance without question being shown. Like I said, HollyDizz finishes off 10-1. These guys were just kind of bullying their way into that B bomb site. I think streaks were earned in like round number 7, or not round 7. I think like round number 4, round number 5. I mean, really, they were just dominating quite a bit of the time when it kind of came down to this match. And generally, when you're on a 3 versus 3, I talk about how streaks are obviously important. Earning those as quick as he did, it was just really, it was obviously a difficulty. I mean, it was really kind of coming down to that 6-0. Where aBeZy was playing well, but it was just aBeZy and Equuip not always there. The consistency just wasn't there for this team. And, of course, take a look here at Ardennes Forest, another round 11. That was obviously Forest. aBeZy continues to have a strong performance along with aBeZy. 7-8 for aBeZy, 8-8 for aBeZy, but it's Equuip who finishes off 5-8. Obviously, despite the loss, comes down to the end, comes down to the wire. And like I said, in that round 11 play from, obviously, the guys on Reckless, I love what they were doing throughout this entire tournament. And like I said, in this last play, what they do is they just brute force their way into a bomb. What they do in this last round, they send all 3 guys through middle. They push the bomb inside of A as quickly as they possibly can, kind of catch the guys from SDF off guard, because a lot of times in round 11s, what you're going to see come out from a team, or from both teams, is they play for a pick. Both teams play slowly. They don't want to have any room for error. But what do the guys do here on Reckless? They live up to their title. They play recklessly. They go for an immediate push onto the opposite bomb side of the 2, the non-preferred site. They get the bomb planted, and James makes a huge kill in the back lines after the first blood already goes down.